The approach to combat and everyday life should be the same. Miyamoto Musashi. In the Sengoku period of Japan, there lived a legendary samurai philosopher named Miyamoto Musashi. He was a ronin, an outlaw samurai who traveled the country looking to hone his skills and duel any willing to fight him. He is known as Japan's greatest swordsman, being undefeated in 61 duels. What we are interested in, though, is his writings and philosophies. During the last week of his life, the Zen Buddhist follower gave his closest pupil the Dokkodo, the way of walking alone. This writing was Musashi's 21 precepts on living. Focusing on self-discipline, perseverance, and living a purposeful life, these precepts apply surprisingly well today. In this video, we'll cover the first 7 of the 21 precepts. In the coming weeks, we will cover the last 14 precepts, so make sure to subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified when we release those videos. Now, on to the Dokkodo. First, accept everything the way it is. As a ronin, Musashi could not control much of what happened to him. The weather, the actions of those around him, how much they trained, and death were all out of his control. Even the politics and constant wars that plagued Japan during his life were none of his business. The first precept of the Dokkodo deals with accepting these things for what they are, rather than mulling on how things should be. Peace comes from the acceptance of things as they are. This is just as true today as it was then. You cannot control how your boss will react to the newest numbers report. You cannot control the car next to you who is speeding and cutting people off. You cannot control the moods of those around you. You can, however, control how you react to those things. Do they anger or ruin your day? Or do you accept them and continue on with what you were already doing? As the SERENITY prayer states, "Give me the serenity to accept the things which cannot be changed, the courage to change the things that must be changed, and the wisdom to know the difference." Number 2. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. Often, the best course of action puts off pleasure for sacrifice in the moment, leading to better long-term health, wealth, and happiness. Think of your own life. Going to the gym and getting a workout is far harder than sitting on the couch, relaxing, or binging Netflix. Cooking and eating healthy is much more difficult than going out to your favorite fast food restaurant and grabbing something to eat. Working late is much less fun than going to play golf with your buddies. In each of these cases, the easier option is arguably more pleasurable, fun, and definitely easier in the short term. Yet, the easier, more pleasing option is the one that is worse for us in the long term. It requires no self-discipline, brings no meaning or long-term benefit to us. Musashi believes that happiness is better achieved through growth, struggle, and mastery, falling in love with the journey rather than making easy short-term choices. Number 3. Do not depend on a partial feeling. The problem with feelings is that they are biased. Our mood, those around us, and preconceived notions all affect them. A partial feeling is your gut telling you that something is wrong or missing. Learn to trust this feeling and just say no. Tim Ferriss and other leading entrepreneurial minds have a concept that relates to this when deciding if a project or event is worth their time. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. If you have reservations about a dinner meeting, a business venture, a relationship, or other event, simply say no. Decisiveness is a skill that must be practiced and will be easier with time. Number 4. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. This is a concept that very closely resembles the teaching of Buddhism. When you compare yourself to the world, to nature, to the seasons, and especially to time, you are insignificant. Humans tend to be narcissistic by nature. Each of us is the center of our own universe. By taking a step back and realizing how truly small we are compared to the forces around us, we can maintain a light sense of self and gain a sense of humility that can only benefit our outlook on life. Number 5. Be detached from desire your whole life long. It would be easy to spend our lives chasing after one desire or another. The draw of chasing our next romantic partner, a bigger house or a faster car, or the next major job promotion are all desires that lead us down the wrong path. As a Ronin, being constantly tempted by desire would have kept Miyamoto from helping those around him, from practicing with the sword, from thinking and writing deeply. So many of the things that he is remembered for would not have been. Desire is a thirst that cannot be quenched, no matter how much you drink from it. What has chasing desires kept you from? I doubt that there are many people who will watch this video and not think of some desire that they chased, that in hindsight would have been better left alone. Number 6. Do not regret what you have done. When you make a mistake, you have two choices. Dwell on it endlessly and end up regretting it, or learn the lesson that you need to learn from the experience and move on. Things will not always be perfect, and that is a fact of life. You are going to screw up, make mistakes, choose wrong, or go the wrong direction at times. The difference between successful and unsuccessful people is often how they go through the experiences that humble them. Do you grow and plan from shameful, regrettable, or embarrassing events? Or do you wallow in self-pity and take a woe is me stance? This ties in well with the first point too. You cannot change the events of the past. The only thing you can do is learn, grow, and put plans into action so that you won't repeat those same mistakes. Number 7. Never be jealous of others. As a Ronin, Musashi's lot in life was to roam the land. He was without a home. It would have been very easy for him to look at those who possessed more and be jealous. For us, the age of social media has made it so that this statement might be truer and more beneficial now than at any other time in the past. As you probably heard, comparison is the thief of joy. Regardless of how well you know someone, you are only seeing a very brief portion of their life. You may see a big house, nice cars, and what looks like the American dream. What they might be hiding is crippling debt, children who hate them, or a number of other problems that you'll never know about. Rather than comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, or a month ago, or a year ago. Are you fitter than you were a year ago? Are your finances in better shape? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you closer to achieving your own goals? Comparing yourself and feeling jealous of others is a toxic trait and will rarely lead to anything good. Let it go. Remember, the approach to combat and everyday life should be the same. While the lifestyle of the samurai is gone, the lessons that Musashi has left us with apply just as well today as they did hundreds of years ago. Which of the first 7 precepts from the Dokkodo was your favorite? Which one can you best apply to your life? Before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you'll be notified in the coming weeks when we release the next 2 videos covering the other 14 precepts